Good morning, Standard 9th. Before starting with today's class, let us just recapitulate what we studied in the previous class. So students, in the last class we studied about economic activities. These are performed with a view to make them available to consumers and also with a view to earn money. Now, economic activities can be classified into three sectors: primary, secondary and tertiary sector. Students, primary sector includes activities undertaken by directly using or exploiting natural resources, whereas secondary sector includes those activities in which the raw materials are changed to finished product or any other form through some process of manufacturing. And the last one, that is tertiary sector, it includes activities that generate services to the people. It doesn't produce goods, it doesn't include activities that produce goods but renders services. And then we discussed about non-economic activities. These are just the opposite of economic activities, and these are performed for emotional reasons or concern for another person. Now let us start with today's class. Students, have a look at these pictures. What do you observe? These pictures show that women generally look after household work and men work in the fields to earn money, or they work outside to earn money. So we can say that there is division of labor due to historical and cultural reasons. Now students, I used this term division of labor. Let us understand the meaning of this term. If I have to explain this slide to you all in simple terms, or if you have to explain this slide in simple terms, then we will say that through this slide we can observe, or we can say that the work is divided between the men and women. The women are assigned to do the household work, whereas men are assigned the work that is done outside the home to earn money. Let us understand the meaning of the term division of labor. Division of labor refers to the separation of a work process into a number of tasks, with each task performed by a separate person or group of persons, and it is most often applied to systems of mass production. In other words, it means the assignment of different parts of a manufacturing process or task to different people in order to improve efficiency, as it will help workers to focus on specific tasks. Let us understand this with the help of an example. Think about the time when you have to decorate your classroom bulletin board. One of you draw the borders, some students write captions, while few bring the content related to the topic. So in this process, several students work as a team to assure that their class board looks best. This splitting of tasks among different groups or people is called division of labor. Now, because of this division of labor, the pressure is not only on just one student. And since the pressure is less, then that particular student can focus on one task that has been assigned to him or her, and he or she will do it with more efficiency. Next, students, women are not paid for looking after their children or for the other services that they deliver in the family. And so we can say that these work that women do is not recognized while calculating a country's income. Why? Because they are not earning anything from these works. Women are paid only when they enter labor market. Now, what is a labor market? It refers to a place where workers and employees interact. Here, employers compete to hire the best and the workers compete for the best satisfying job. For example, in a normal market, consumers and sellers interact. In the labor market, workers and employers interact. And we can say that women are not paid for their household work. They are paid only when they enter into this market and start doing some economic activities. Now, whether they will be able to earn as much as their male counterpart depends on their education and skill. If they are educated, they will have better job opportunities. Students, there is a wide gender disparity in the literacy rate in India. The male literacy rate is around 75%, whereas for females it is approximately 54%, showing a huge gap between the genders at the national level. This gap is more in rural areas. Now, since the women are not educated, they end up working at places where there is no job security, no legal protection, employment is irregular and income is low. Also, there is absence of maternity leave. What is maternity leave? It refers to a period of absence from work granted to a mother before and after the birth of a child, and this is a paid leave. Or any childcare and other social security system. So students, basically we can say that they end up working in unorganized sector, these uneducated women. Nothing is systematic here and no strict rules are followed in this sector. They can be removed from the job at any time, and also they are paid less compared to men. Whereas, on the other hand, women with high education and skill formation or training are paid at par with men. They have job security, also they get various facilities. So they are working in organized sector. And today we can see women working in all different types of services, be it administrative or be it jobs that need high levels of scientific and technological competence. And students, about this organized and unorganized sector, you will study in detail in standard 10th. So students, that was all about division of labor. Moving ahead. Students, I have told you all that investment in education, training and medical care turns population as an asset for the economy. Also, we just now studied that how education helps women in getting better job opportunities. So from this we can say that quality of population depends on education, health and employment. If people of a country will be literate, healthy, and if they will be earning, then they will be an asset for the country. And then we can say that the quality of population is good. So students, these three factors are very, very important. And we'll discuss all these in detail, that how these factors enhance the quality of population and what are the steps that our government has taken in these fields from our next class. So that's all for today. Today we only discussed about division of labor. Thank you, students.